welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Dr. Neet PG and today's video is going to be about the things you should be doing before your Neet PG counselling begins. So as someone who had appeared last year and was almost exhausted with the whole counselling process and the change in schedules, I can completely relate to the ones who are appearing this year. There has been a lot of gap between the time you gave your exam to the results and now for the actual counselling to begin, and there's always that uncertainty because it keeps getting postponed. So today's video is extremely important because a lot of us actually do not know what to do in this spare time, and then everything is in a rush when the registration and the choice filling actually begins. So if there is even a slightest chance that we can be prepared for it beforehand, I think it's really worth it, and I hope that is why this video helps you guys. So this is one common thing that happens to most of the aspirants who are waiting for their counselling to begin, is we do not have a direction to go towards. We just think when the registration starts, when the counselling begins, we will see it as it comes, and that's not the best approach. So firstly, we will talk about the people who haven't yet decided their branch. There are a lot of people who do not decide their branch till the last moment, either because they're not very sure of what they want, or they're not sure of what branch they will get in the counselling. So the first thing you should be doing if you haven't decided your branch is to list down at least 4 to 5 branches that you want to take, because honestly when the choice filling starts, you cannot haphazardly fill in whatever you want wherever you want. The counselling and the preference filling is a gamble in itself, and when I say it's a gamble in itself, I mean it, because you only realize that you've made a gross error in your preference filling only when you reach that point where you've got an admission and you're waiting for the next round. There are a lot of things you wish that you could have done better, or the preference filling could have been done in a different manner. So that's why it's very important that you list down at least 5 branches. If that's too much, then at least list down 3 branches. You cannot randomly fill all the subjects in a deranged manner. There has to be a particular liking for the subject. There has to be a certain pattern in which you've decided how your form filling will go. So for that to start, as I said, either choose 3 or 5 subjects of your choice that you would really like to get if it's in your hand. So that's the first thing. I don't say that do not add other branches. Of course, if you want to add in all the branches, do it, but there still will have to be a proper manner in which you fill your form. So remember to do that. The next thing is speak to people from those branches. Now, who do you speak to? Firstly, speak to the residents of that branch. Now, the residents are the ones who will be the most overworked in a particular department. So you are going to see the most exhausting side of that branch. You are going to see what it feels like to work those excessive hours, or to be put in that stressful situation. And that is also very important because you will know if you are made for that. For example, I did not want to go into an emergency branch because I thought I cannot handle that pressure, and I did not want to honestly choose that type of a specialty, and I only came to know about this during my internship and then after speaking to a lot of residents. So that's very important for you to know. The next person you should be speaking to are consultants, because again the residents are going to give you the whole stressful and the exhausting scenario of residency and of that specialty, but the consultants or the well-established professionals in that particular field will tell you even about the pros in a much better manner. They can guide you about what it looks like in that particular branch. So do not restrict yourself only to residents, because it's important to know each side of each at each level. So speak to as many people as you can. Now, how do you get in touch with these consultants? It's not very easy to just speak randomly to any consultant, to pick up your phone and call say a surgeon or an orthopedic surgeon randomly. That's not possible. So first thing you do is speak to your general physician. If you have a family doctor, they are the ones who know of a lot of more of these people, and they can help you connect with them. In case your family doctor cannot help you, then speak to the ones in your previous medical college. Of course, they will be attached with the hospital. So speak to the consultants over there. take an appointment, be very professional, because their time is very, very valuable. So be very professional when you approach them, and with the most politeness, speak to them about the pros and cons, discuss everything with them. Now, what to discuss? The first thing we need to discuss is the type of work that goes into the branch. Now, this differs from each and every branch. It's different in clinical, it's different in paraclinical and non-clinical. It's very important to know every aspect of the type of work that goes into it. For example, if there's any branch where paperwork is too much and you are not a person made for paperwork, then that's probably not the branch for you. At the same time, if there is a branch where there are emergency duties, a lot of adrenaline rush, and you're really fond of it, but you do not like any other aspect, it's also important to discuss about that. There are a lot of people who do not like, who do not like patient interaction as much. They like to be in their own space. So for those people, something like pathology or radiology works very fine. So it's important to discuss what is included in that particular specialty. What is the type of work that you will be doing over there. The next thing is the scope of that particular specialty. Now, of course, there are very, very well esteemed branches like surgery, like orthopedics, like dermatology, where we already know the scope, but a doctor working in that field day and night can actually tell you what is the present scope of it, because it keeps changing. There is a point where it reaches a saturation level, and if you think that there are multiple options that you want, but one of those fields is extremely saturated, then it's better that you put that a little lower in your priority list, because at the end you will have to go out in the professional world. So that is one of the points that you should be considering. The next is the scope of that work in government and in private sectors. Now, my branch, for example, community medicine, does not have a lot of scope in a corporate hospital. Now, so if you are someone who wants to work, in a corporate hospital later on, that's not something that this is not the branch that you should be aiming for. Of course, some hospitals do have community medicine doctors as well, but not most of them. This is more of a government job than a corporate job. So it all depends on what your liking and preference for the future is, and at the same time what the particular specialty has to offer in terms of government and private sectors. And the last is the type of pay that you get. It's important to know, right, the minimum and the maximum pay that you can be getting at each stage, and if that is enough for you. We all say that doctors are not supposed to be working to make money, but of course we are professionals at the end, and this is an important aspect. In fact, when I put up my last video on the community medicine thing, a lot of questions were related to what is the salary after community medicine, what is the pay scale, what is the stipend, and obviously for everyone this is clearly a very important point. So discuss this as well with your consultants and your the other residents that you speak to. So this was all about if you haven't decided the branch of your choice. Now, for those who have already decided the branch of their choice and are also confident that ye mil jayega, so the first thing you should be doing is list down all the colleges that are known for this branch. So most colleges have mostly all the specialities, but not all colleges excel in each and every department. And it's very important to know what department they excel in, and your department, your branch, it's important to know in which colleges are they very well known based on the faculty, based on the toxicity level, based on the patient interaction you will get, based on the patient load, based on the type of teaching you will get. If you are only getting academic teaching but you're not getting to do anything practical, that's not good for you. If your department there is extremely toxic, if it's somewhere where you don't think you might be able to be satisfied at, then that's not the department for you. In case there is not much of work and you're just sitting down, going to work, sitting down and then coming back at the end of the day, you will have zero work satisfaction. So it's very important to know the list of colleges in this matter. So again, speak to residents. Try to speak to at least 1 or 2 residents from most of the states that you will be applying to. It's not possible to speak to a resident from every college, but here's what happens, that the resident of any particular state will know about most of the colleges in and around them. So I am from Maharashtra. if I speak to even one resident from Mumbai, I know that he or she will know about most of the other colleges in Mumbai as well. So that actually helps. Now, if you have about 2 or 3 states shortlisted, if you're going to be registering through All India quota, or if it's state quota, whatever it is, speak to the JRs in that particular state. Ask them about their college environment, ask them about the department environment. This is something which happened to me again when I was researching, is I found out one college, one GMC out of the ones that I had listed down, had an extremely toxic department, and it was a very bad working space. And then I actually removed it from my preference list, and there are multiple reasons for that. This creates a massive hindrance later on, because if you get this college and then there's no free exit from this college, you will be stuck over there, and you only come to know about this after you've got your admission, and you cannot do anything about it. So that's why only and only fill those colleges at first, or like in the top 20 or 30 that you are 100% sure are going to give you the maximum teaching in that particular specialty. If there are certain colleges and you rather would take in the toxic environment, or you just want the degree but you really don't care about the college as much, then of course you can put it a little lower in your preference filling. The next thing you should do, if you've already chosen your dream branch, is start studying about it a little bit every day. Now, this studying will not be as you did for your final MBBS exams, or like you did for say your NEET. This is going to be the practical knowledge about it. This is going to be about the things you're going to be doing in the hospital. So it could be learning about the basic drugs that are given, the basic mechanisms of these drugs, the contraindications, etc. For these drugs when you will be sitting in the OPD. In a case like community medicine, it's going to be about your immunization schedule and the other various aspects. So every branch has their own practical skill sets that are used, and this knowledge will be tested time and again. You are obviously not expected to know everything on the first day of your residency, but as you keep going, there are things that you wish that you had learned before coming in. So learn about the basics before you step in your college. You still have at least a month or more to start the college, start your academic session. So take this time to just brush up some basic knowledge about the subject. The next thing you should do is take up small courses in that subject. Now, there are multiple websites which offer distant online courses, and they're from very good universities. Now, one such is WHO, where there are multiple courses, and they're all you do get online e-certificates as well. There are courses on Coursera which also help. So depending on the branch that you want to take, there are different courses that you can do. Now, these courses not just help in gaining some extra knowledge, but they also help to look good in your resume, where you've done these n number of courses, you have certificates for them, and of course try to do it from good institutions which carry good amount of weightage. So that's the next thing you should be doing. So this was all about choosing your branch, choosing the college, etc, etc. Now the next topic we'll be talking about is the documentation. There is still time before the counselling begins, or if you're watching this video later, maybe it's already begun, but there is still time before you take physical admission in the college. Now what happens is, a lot of people have scanned documents, and it's very easy to access and very easy to upload. One thing that I noticed in last year's counselling, in those counselling groups, was that people had the PDF or the JPG format of those particular documents, but they did not have the physical copy, and either it got misplaced or there was some other reason, but they did not have it. Or some people did not collect it, some did not collect some documents from their college. Now you still have time, so the first thing you should do is make a list of the common documents that are needed for the counselling. In case you've not yet got it from the college, by the time you go to the college, write an application, get those documents, it's going to take some time. In case you have misplaced it, go through the procedure that is there for your state university to procure like a duplicate copy of that document officially. So do that and keep it till then, because of course you're only going to be requiring the scanned documents at this moment, but soon you will be requiring the physical copies of these as well. Now, once you have all your documents according to your counselling requirements and the college admission requirements, the next thing you should be doing is take some Xerox copies and keep it. when we get the admission, we're in such a rush because we need to book our train tickets, we need to make DDs, and there's so much work to do that one thing we can avoid to keep for later is making photocopies of all the documents. Keep about 5 to 6 copies handy in case you plan to, in case you think that you'll get admission in state counselling or somewhere in the start, and you'll keep upgrading and keep wanting to move forward in the counselling. Then what you can do is keep multiple copies. It's better to keep more copies than keeping less. Also remember that every time you cancel admission in one college, you're going to be they'll keep one set or one bundle of the documents with them. They're going to retain that and give you only one bundle again. So you're going to keep having one less bundle each time. So keep that in mind and take enough photocopies of your documents. That's one work less that you can do during the time of getting the admission. So that's my next point. The last point, and a very, very important point, is something that most of us know, but we're not implementing it because some of us have either taken it for granted or some of us just don't know the value of it, is to spend as much of time with your families, your friends or other close people as you can in this little time. I know a lot of us are very frustrated and just want the counselling to begin and the admissions to begin, but when it does, things go so fast that we do not have time to process any of it, and we realize कि यार वो time spent कर देना चाहिए था with our close ones. So gather your friends, gather your relatives, keep going out for this lunches, dinners, movies, shopping, do everything that you want to do, because residency mein to get that much amount of time is going to be very exhausting, especially in a clinical branch. So that's why make the most of it as of now. For those of you who love to travel, remember that you're not going to get this opportunity easily in residency, and even if you do, it's not going to be at a very wide scale. It's going to be for a very few days, because we do not get as many holidays, and that's when you're going to regret. Now, of course, there are a lot of people who will say that हम 3 साल के लिए अब कैसे compensate करें? How do we compensate for something, for 3 years in just 10 days or 15 days? And yes, that's true, you can't, but at least you will not regret not utilizing these days to your fullest in the next 1 year or 2 years, where the workload is going to be at the maximum. So for that reason, travel, go out, make the most of this time that you can, because you're not going to be getting these days back again. So here were a couple of things that I thought were important to talk about before your counselling begins, and I wish you all the very best for your counselling. I hope each one of you gets the branch of your choice and the state and college of your choice, and I hope you all found it useful. For more such videos, please like, share and subscribe to this video.